you like intimacy. We all do. But here's the real question. What kind of intimate activities are Americans actually into? Hi, a board-certified urologist with 5 years of experience helping men protect their health, improve performance, and feel confident in their intimate lives. And today, I'm breaking down the top 10 intimate activities Americans are into, based on one of the largest nationally representative studies ever done on this subject. Now, before we get started, let me ask you, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. I love seeing this community come together from all over the world. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon because we've got a lot more frank, honest, and supportive men's health content coming your way. And trust me, number 9 and number 10 on this list are going to shock you. Let's dive in. Here's something I want you to remember right up front. There's no single normal way to express your intimate life. Too often, men come into my office worried, is it normal that I like this? Is it strange that my partner asked for that? Am I the only one who does this? And the truth is, intimate expression is as diverse as fingerprints. What feels exciting, meaningful, or pleasurable to you may be different from your neighbor, your coworker, or your brother-in-law. And that's okay. This study shows us one big takeaway. You are not as unusual as you might think. Millions of people are exploring, experimenting, and enjoying a wide range of activities, most of them perfectly healthy, normal, and common. So where does this information come from? Researchers surveyed over 2,000 American adults, 975 men, just over 1,000 women across every age group, ethnicity, and background. The survey was confidential, giving people the freedom to answer honestly about what they've actually done, what they enjoy, and what they think about. And while the majority of participants, 91%, identified as heterosexual, this still gives us a fascinating snapshot of what Americans are really into. So let's dive into it. As I mentioned, I'm Dr. Hada. I've been a practicing urologist for 5 years, specializing in men's health and intimate wellness. I've worked with hundreds of men who worry they're not normal, who feel embarrassed about their desires, or who simply want reassurance that what they're experiencing is okay. And I can tell you this. Most of what you think is unusual, it's not. So let's normalize the conversation. Let's talk openly, honestly, and without judgment. Here are the top 10 intimate activities in America today. Number 1, traditional intercourse. Not shocking, right? This is by far the most common activity, with 88% of men and 91% of women reporting regular intimacy when they have a partner. Biologically, this makes sense. It's the most straightforward way humans reproduce, and it's also the foundation of connection for many couples. Emotionally, it represents closeness, trust, and vulnerability. Practically, it's what most couples default to. But the fact that it's expected doesn't mean it has to get boring. Position changes, open communication, and prioritizing mutual pleasure can keep this core activity fresh and fulfilling. Number 2, self-pleasure. Now, here's one that always makes people nervous to talk about, but let's be honest, over 80% of men and women do it. In fact, in the last month alone, 64% of men and 41% of women admitted to engaging in self-pleasure. Biologically, it helps regulate hormones, supports prostate health, and keeps function sharp. Emotionally, it reduces stress and helps you stay in touch with what feels good for your body. Practically, it's private, accessible, and requires no partner. As long as it's not interfering with your relationships or daily life, it's completely normal and in many ways beneficial. So if you've ever felt shame about this, let me be clear. You shouldn't. It's healthy, it's normal, and it's part of taking care of yourself. Number 3, oral intimacy, giving and receiving. Both are extremely common, with more than 80% of Americans engaging in oral intimacy at some point. Biologically, this is one of the most effective ways to create pleasure for a partner, especially for women, who often need this kind of stimulation to reach satisfaction. Emotionally, it's often seen as a sign of generosity and trust partners learning to please one another beyond the basics. Practically, here's the catch. Infections can still be transmitted orally, herpes, HPV, and others. So from a urologist's perspective, protection matters. Barriers like protection methods aren't glamorous, but they're effective. The bigger picture? Oral intimacy is about connection, generosity, and learning what your partner enjoys. Number 4, watching adult content. Controversial? Absolutely. Common? Even more so. 82% of men and 60% of women report watching adult content at some point. Biologically, occasional viewing can enhance arousal, but in excess, it rewires the brain's reward system, leading to decreased sensitivity and potential struggles with function. Emotionally, it can create unrealistic expectations comparing real-life intimacy to fantasy. Practically, moderation is the key. Adult content is not real life, it's entertainment. Healthy intimacy requires communication, patience, and presence, not performance. So if you watch it, be mindful. And if you notice it's affecting your real-life connection with a partner, it might be time to pull back. Number 5, wearing special clothing or lingerie. This one might surprise you. About 75% of women and even 26% of men admit they've chosen special clothing or undergarments for a partner. Why? Because anticipation is powerful. Biologically, when you see your partner making an effort, your brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical. Emotionally, it's about saying, you're worth the effort. Practically, it's such a simple way to inject novelty and excitement into long-term relationships. So if you've never tried this, or if it's been a while, consider it. The effort doesn't have to be elaborate. Sometimes just a little intentionality goes a long way. Number 6, sending intimate photos or messages. This is where things get risky. 65% of men and 54% of women admit to sending or receiving intimate or suggestive photos. Biologically, it taps into the excitement of anticipation, the thrill of visual stimulation, even when you're apart. Emotionally, it can feel thrilling, secretive, and deeply intimate. Practically, it's risky. Phones get hacked, relationships end, and images can resurface years later. If you engage in this, protect yourself. Avoid showing your face. Only share with someone you deeply trust. And remember, you lose control once you hit send. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being smart. Number 7, reading erotic stories. More than 57% of Americans have done this, with women leaning more toward literature while men tend to prefer visual content. Biologically, arousal isn't just visual, it's mental. The brain is the most powerful part of intimate arousal. Emotionally, it allows for safe exploration of fantasies without real-world risk. Practically, this can be a great couples activity. Reading together, sharing what excites you, and using that as a springboard for real intimacy. So if you've never tried this, it might be worth exploring. Sometimes, the imagination is more powerful than anything else. Number 8, intimacy in adventurous locations. Now we're getting into surprising territory. About 43% of people admit to having intimate moments in an adventurous or semi-public place at least once. Biologically, the adrenaline rush heightens arousal. Your body doesn't distinguish between excitement from danger and excitement from desire. Both release the same chemicals. Emotionally, it's the thrill of the forbidden, the spontaneity, the breaking of routine. Practically, it's risky. Being caught can have legal consequences in most places, so if you're curious, weigh the risk carefully. I'm not here to judge, but I am here to remind you to be smart. Number 9, anal intimacy. Yes, this one is far more common than most people think. 43% of men and 30% of women report engaging in this activity at some point. Biologically, the area is full of nerve endings. For men, it can stimulate the prostate. For women, it's close to other sensitive areas. Emotionally, it can carry stigma, but for many, it's an expression of trust and exploration. Practically, it requires preparation, plenty of lubrication, a slow pace, and absolute communication to avoid injury or discomfort. If this is something you're curious about, educate yourself first. Talk to your partner, take your time, and prioritize comfort and safety above all else. Number 10, playful impact spanking. Here's the shocker. About 30% of Americans admit to playful impact or spanking during intimate moments. Biologically, mild sensation and pleasure both activate similar brain pathways, releasing endorphins that heighten arousal. Emotionally, it can be playful, adventurous, or deeply intimate depending on the couple. Practically, it's safe as long as it's consensual. Agree on boundaries, use safe words, and respect each other's comfort levels. This isn't about pain, it's about trust, exploration, and adding variety to your intimate life. Number 1, talk openly with your partner. Curiosity and communication build trust. Ask what excites them. Share what excites you. Number 2, prioritize safety. Whether it's protection from infections, digital caution, or physical preparation, respect your health. Number 3, explore slowly. Novelty can be exciting, but it's most rewarding when approached with patience and care. You don't have to try everything on this list. In fact, most couples